Hi, this is going to be a build outline for my Glacial Hammer Berserker guide that I'm going to be running for 3.25. Now, the current POB isn't completely updated. There is still a bunch of stuff that has not been solved, such as Glacial Hammer Shattering effectiveness not being updated, nor has it been fully calculated how much the crit affects the actual full DPS. POB has never actually correctly done that, so it's always been higher than the actual POB shows. But because I want to focus on getting some kind of outline out and also to get a video out for people to refer to, because I will be updating this POB as the actual software updates, I thought it'd be best just to get this out here as soon as possible. So first things first, axe, standard thing you do when you're leveling melee. You get the life through here, get the precision and accuracy, go down here, get some life leech, get some attack speed, come all the way down, grab Tribal Fury, and once you get that, and once you get the additional strike, you can now use strike skills pretty effectively in the axe. Then you go up, you grab the Fortify Mastery right here early on, you get some life, you get some attack speed, and that's basically how you do here, and then eventually move on as you go into the general league start POB. So right here, we've got it more spread out. Come over here to get the maximum attacks speed. You get this one. This one's very important. Helps you scale some defenses with every point you put into rage and max rage generation. Makes it more consistent. Come over here, get endurance charge, because with this and also with this node, you're going to be able to get endurance charges, and endurance charges are actually very nice for maintaining your sustain and making sure you're defensive, because currently defenses aren't looking that bad. Obviously, could use a lot more armor, but as it stands, I'm not using any updated base types, so as you can see here, there's only 1400 on this armor. You can 100% get way more on the body armor now with additional things. We're just going to finish up what we have here, getting max rage. This wheel, you can take it or leave it. The max rage is nice, but you don't really need that much additional rage because you get gain rage on all these smaller nodes right here. Get a little life regen. Obviously, got to get your leech. There's no good mana leech over here because this one's only for physical attacks, so you're going to need to get it from some other source. Mana reservation efficiency. You're going to be scaling max resistances overall, as well as higher amounts of life, high armor, and then ailment effect, because freeze is going to be very consistent with the crits. So you're just going to want to make sure your freezes last long. And that's a pretty good transition into the items. For early on, you got your basic stuff. You just want as high as a physical DPS staff as you can with plenty of attack speed and maybe a little crit chance if you can fit that on there too. That also helps. Basic stuff, life, res, resistances. I actually wrote out a bit of a notes section here, so if you want a little more detail without me rambling a little bit, you can look at there. Marlene's Fallacy is the one absolute thing you need to get very early on, especially if you want to run the trans gem of Glacial Hammer early. That just helps the damage immediately. And it also means you can allocate Clever Thief early on to just help with Leech in general. The belt one, it's pretty contentious. If you can get a chain of emancipation early to help just jumpstart your rage very early on, or you can try and snag a Bear's Griddle early on. I'm still debating whether or not the belt will stay consistent, but that's for updates later on. Aziri's Promise is nice. This is just some basic stuff. And eventually when you get the mapping gear, obviously you want to go do a Winds of Fate, then eventually craft something above this late into the league. Celestial Brace, like best in slot, you need it to maintain the fortification. And once you get to that, you can drop the melee fortifying node there, get a cluster jewel, get more damage. Nothing really crazy here. You want the block nodes over here too. That just helps with a little bit of avoidance and helping with your shotgunning. And just getting as much life as you can. Life is your main thing. You want to probably push this up to like 5k if you possibly can with your gear and good resonance nodes, scaling armor, and resistances. I obviously haven't done that correctly, but as you can see, it could potentially be a lot better and, you know, actually pretty sustainable considering how quick we would be potentially attacking. Yeah, this one's also nice because it increases effectiveness for your freezes. As for skills, this is how it generally looks. I have Glacial Hammer in here just to show the comparison between the two, but obviously POB isn't working currently for that. So elemental damage with attacks, melee physical, multi-strike, cold penetration, and increased crit damage. That's the ones you want eventually. And you want the awakened version wherever you can. And the leveling link setup, you probably want something like a momentum because it increases attack speed, and it's actually a very nice early one. You just want some flat elemental damage with attacks, and of course you just want some, let's go with here, Ancestral Call or something. It's not really that important. Just get some melee attack vids, just get more damage, get some attack speed, that kind of stuff. You'll be running Determination, Blood Rage. We got some useful gems here: Flesh and Stone, Infernal Cry, Precision, Arrogance, Hatred, Endurance Cry, depending on whether or not you're dying a lot. Lean more defensive or lean more attack oriented. Obviously, with updates to POB coming up in the next couple days, I will be updating this POB later on. So come back, check on if the update's linked, and I'll have a pinned comment stating and editing when any kind of major adjustments happen. But yeah, hope you guys have a good league start.